Well, good morning, folks. Welcome to the city of Long Beach. We're here at the Housing Authority on the third day of our Housing Innovation Week. I want to thank all of you for joining us. I want to acknowledge our two council members who are here with us, Chair of Housing, Megan Kerr, and Councilman Al Austin. We are here in the 8th Council District. This is the 8th, correct? We're in the 8th Council District, so thank you so much. We also know that Supervisor Hahn, who has been a tremendous partner over the course of the past year in terms of helping us to secure the resources we need to respond to homelessness. Her representatives are here with us today as well. It's fitting to be here today at the Housing Authority to announce the results of the annual point-in-time homeless count because of really the great work of this agency within the department, within the health department. This agency was able to achieve tremendous results as it relates to full utilization of the emergency housing vouchers over the course of the past year, which helped us, help identify 582 additional places for people to go to come off the streets and identify permanent housing. And it's one of the many incredible things that we've accomplished over the past year. As you know, last year we proclaimed a homelessness emergency. That followed a major uptick as a result of the pandemic. We saw between 2020 and 2022 a 62% increase in homelessness. And this emergency really allowed us to put the structures in place in order to address this humanitarian crisis. The city set specific goals as part of this proclamation: build overall capacity in prevention, behavioral health, and housing, increase funding and resources to implement new programs, speed up our overall response. So get out and respond with urgency. Create long-term goals and organizational structures. So the work didn't end with the emergency. That was really about pulling ourselves together and working with a degree of focus and urgency. So we looked at everything from expanding safe parking to cleanup requests to mental health support and expanding, localizing mental health capacity. And thanks for the spirit of hard work, the spirit of collaboration and dedication, Long Beach is turning the tide. For the first time in nearly a decade, we're proud to report an overall reduction in homelessness. To provide more context on the measures that we've taken to get here, we'd like to welcome Allison King, Director of the Health and Human Services, to the podium to talk a little bit more about the work we did from last January to now.
Thank you, Mayor Richardson. I'm so happy to be here with you today. As the mayor said, the homeless population in Long Beach jumped significantly following the COVID-19 pandemic. The need for quick and robust action prompted the city to proclaim a local emergency. The emergency, which was in place from January 10th, 2023 through February 29th, 2024, put into place policies and programs that provided immediate assistance and laid the groundwork for positive long-term outcomes. I'd like to talk to you about some of that work. The road to becoming permanently housed can be a long one, and every contact homeless service staff and people experiencing homelessness presents an opportunity to move that person towards housing stability. The concerted interdepartmental effort made during the emergency resulted in increased outreach, including the addition of 2 new mobile access centers, a text information line to provide information on services to people experiencing homelessness, the purchase of a year-round shelter with 85 beds, increasing access to warm, safe beds at the MSC during the coldest and rainiest days of winter, and full utilization of the emergency housing vouchers Mayor Richardson previously mentioned. We also implemented telehealth counseling sessions, support for businesses, and increased outreach downtown. The MAC text line, our safe parking, and other initiatives enacted during the emergency will remain in place. And in the next year, we will be opening Home Key at 5950 Long Beach Boulevard and tiny homes. I'd like to extend my gratitude to our former health director, Kelly Colopy, Public Works Director Eric Lopez, and Deputy City Manager Teresa Chandler, and all of whom led us at one time or another through this emergency. I'd also like to thank the 100+ city staff who were reassigned to the emergency and took on leadership roles and came up with innovative new ideas and met the humanitarian crisis head on. And finally, I'd like to thank the volunteers who participated in this year's point in time count for coming out on a really cold and rainy day to do their part to assist us. It truly takes a village, and I'm grateful for our wonderful village here in Long Beach. Now I'd like to turn things back over to Mayor Richardson, who has the information I know everyone is waiting on.
All right. Well, thank you, Allison. And I'm just hearing a partial list of everything that we've done over the course of the past year, but even that amount of work is more than we've seen in a long time. I mean, a significant effort across multiple departments, community members, stakeholders. So incredible work that continues to amaze me. So I want to talk more about the numbers, and I want to set a little context about what the count is and how the count works. The homeless count is required by the Department of Health and Urban Development for jurisdictions like the city of Long Beach that has our own continuum of care. We're unique in Long Beach. We do our own count. We have our own continuum of care, which basically means that we as a city work directly with members of our unhoused community. There are more than 400 continuums across the country, all of which do their counts during the same week of the year. So it's a point in time, the last week in January. We cover every inch of the city, identifying people experiencing homelessness, and we report back to HUD. In Long Beach, we also take the additional step of interviewing every person who's willing. This is not required, but it's an example of how we go above and beyond to better understand the circumstances of the unhoused community. It's important that our staff that we learn from people experiencing homelessness, including what challenges they're facing and what led to their homelessness in the first place, so we can continue to place a focus on root causes. And the count would not be possible without the hundreds of dedicated volunteers who showed up to help get the work done, and we had record turnout and enthusiasm at this year's point in time count, just like we had last year and the year before. And these volunteers represent the absolute best of Long Beach. I want to thank them for their work. Volunteers not only collected data, but they also reached out as caring and concerned neighbors to folks experiencing homelessness and told them about the services that are in place to help them. Now, let's take a deeper dive into the numbers. The 2024 point in time count identified 3,376 people experiencing homelessness. That's a 2.1% decrease from last year. Now, importantly, we had a significant drop in our oldest and our youngest populations when you begin to take a deeper dive into the numbers. So, for example, homelessness is down 49.7% for youth age 18 to 24. That is a significant reduction of youth homelessness in our city. Now, for minors under 18, homelessness went down 37%. For individuals between 55 and 64, we saw a reduction of 9.4% of that senior population. And we also saw a 3% reduction for individuals older than 65%. So these are two very vulnerable populations, youth and seniors, and this was a major focus for us over the course of the past year, and we're proud to see some reductions, some progress in that area. We also saw a 35% decrease in homelessness amongst API community, Asian Pacific Islanders, and we saw a 22% reduction amongst Latinx communities. This is important progress. It wouldn't have been possible without the coordinated efforts of our departmental teams. And because this is Housing Innovation Week, I'd like to uplift the work that we're doing to address housing and to boost more affordable housing. During the emergency, the timeline to boost affordable housing and approve affordable housing dropped to 60 days compared to 6 to 12 months pre-emergency. Last night, we gave direction to the City Council to take some of those provisions and make them permanent. In 2023, more than 670 affordable housing units were entitled citywide, including units reserved for older adults, veterans, and people formerly experiencing homelessness. The city recently celebrated the grand opening of Wellspring, which provides 87 new affordable homes in the Cambodia Town community in the heart of Central Long Beach, including 20 reserved for people formerly experiencing homelessness, and another 156 affordable units are currently under construction. Further, there are three new projects that have been proposed, which add an additional 207 affordable units for low-income households. So now let's talk a little bit further about the numbers. I want to invite up Deputy City Manager Teresa Chandler, who will provide a more detailed perspective on our interdepartmental and interagency efforts.
Thank you so much, Mayor Richardson. All right, so it's definitely a real testament to our health department and all of our city departments who have really taken a deep dive into this work. And as the mayor said, we have certainly begun to turn the tide. However, this is certainly not a victory lap, all right? With more than 3,000 people who are experiencing homelessness in Long Beach, there is still a lot of work to be done. Over the past 3 years, we've dramatically increased our shelter capacity, but even so, more than 2,000 people in our city don't have an indoor place to sleep tonight. That's why the cross-departmental approach to resolving homelessness could not and will not end, even though we've ended the emergency. It's still a top priority for our city, which means all of the city departments will continue to work together to coordinate efforts and resources to provide real solutions. In order to strengthen our coordination, we have established the Office of Homeless Strategy and Partnership in the City Manager's Office. This new office I will oversee will serve as a connecting point of the multiple departments who are focused on this work. This team will not only provide centralized coordination, it's going to also focus on strategic planning, implementation, and will continue to strengthen our partnerships with external agencies, our service providers, our community stakeholders, all addressing homelessness as an entire community, because it certainly takes a village to do this work. This office will not replace the wonderful work of our health department or our other city departments, but will certainly complement and uplift the work of health and all those departments who are working collectively on this issue. This new office will be up and running by midsummer, which is going to align nicely with the update of our strategic plan to address homelessness. So within that strategic planning process, we are taking a close look at what worked best during the emergency response to put together a new set of best practices and goals that will serve as a roadmap for our work over the next 5 years. Working through the emergency last year was not easy in any way, and not at all. But I think that it truly has set us up for staying on a road to success. And what does success look like for the city of Long Beach? Success is when the experience of homelessness in Long Beach is rare and brief, if it does occur, and that we have a safety net of resources and housing options to meet the need of every person and every family who might fall on hard times. So with that, I'm going to turn things back over to our mayor. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Teresa. A lot of great work's been done over the course of the past year, but let's be crystal clear, there's a lot of work ahead of us. We have to continue to prioritize the development of housing citywide, which is what we set out to do. We need our region to step up and also provide housing and shelter. I think this demonstrates a little bit, it should be able to give us a little bit of optimism that when we focus on outreach, when we focus on best practices, when we expand shelter capacity, and when we collaborate and work together, government and community, we can turn the tide. But we have to maintain our focus. Now is not the time to switch strategies. Now is the time to double down on the results that we've seen and continue to make a meaningful difference. In 2023, we had a record number of entitlements with 2,934 housing units approved across our city. Construction began on 1,011 housing units, including 671 accessory dwelling units. Currently, there are 870 housing units under construction in Long Beach. The city will continue to build on these efforts to reach our housing goals and help to ensure a range of housing options that meets the needs of our diverse community. We have a tough road ahead. We have to continue building housing. We have to continue investing in outreach. We have to continue doubling down on these efforts. But I know, and we should be confident that we're up to the task. We have a great city team. We have great partnerships with the county. We need to now continue to place a real focus here. So I want to thank you all for joining us here today to hear the results of the point in time count. The full 2024 report is now available at longbeach.gov. So you can take a deep dive yourselves and look at the point in time results. We'll now proceed with interpretation in Spanish and Khmer, and then we'll be back. Thank you.
Buenos días a todos, bienvenidos a la ciudad de Long Beach. Estamos aquí en el Departamento de Autoridad de la Vivienda en el segundo día de la Semana de Innovación de la Vivienda con el alcalde Rex Richardson, la directora de Salud y Servicios Humanos y gerente adjunto de la ciudad, Teresa Chandler. Como saben, el año pasado, en el mes de enero, hicimos la proclamación de la situación de emergencia de las personas sin hogar. Esto sucedió después de un gran aumento del número de personas sin techo como consecuencia de la pandemia. Declarar la situación de emergencia nos permitió poner en marcha la estructura necesaria para hacer frente a esta crisis humanitaria. La ciudad estableció los siguientes objetivos específicos como parte de la proclamación: aumentar la capacidad general en materia de prevención de la salud del comportamiento y de la vivienda, aumentar la financiación y los recursos para poner en marcha programas nuevos, acelerar nuestra respuesta en general y crear objetivos y estructuras organizativas a largo plazo para que el trabajo no terminase con la emergencia. El equipo de la ciudad cumplió con todos los objetivos a corto plazo y ha avanzado considerablemente en sus objetivos a largo plazo. A lo largo del proceso, se los mantuvo informados con transmisiones en directo, regulares, en las que hablaba con nuestro maravilloso personal y nuestros socios comunitarios de confianza. El recuento puntual de 2024 identificó 3.376 personas sin hogar, un 2.1% menos que el año pasado. Es importante destacar que se ha producido un descenso significativo en las poblaciones de mayor y de menor edad. El número de personas sin hogar ha descendido el 49.7% de las personas de 18 a 24 años, el 37% para las personas menores de 18 años, el 9.4% entre las personas de 55 y 64 años y el 3% entre los mayores de 65 años. También se redujo en un 35% el número de personas sin hogar entre las personas de origen asiático o isleños del Pacífico y en un 22% entre los latinos. Este es un verdadero testimonio de que el trabajo que están haciendo el Departamento de Salud y los departamentos de toda la ciudad está comenzando a cambiar la tendencia, pero no se trata de una vuelta triunfal. Con más de 3.000 personas sin hogar en Long Beach todavía queda mucho trabajo por hacer. En los últimos 3 años hemos aumentado drásticamente la capacidad de los refugios, pero aún así, más de 2.000 personas en nuestra ciudad no tienen un lugar bajo techo donde dormir esta noche. En el último año se ha hecho un gran trabajo, pero aún queda mucho por hacer. Debemos seguir dando prioridad al desarrollo de la vivienda en toda la ciudad y es eso exactamente lo que nos hemos propuesto hacer. Tenemos un duro camino por delante, pero sé que estamos a la altura de la tarea. Gracias a todos por acompañarnos hoy para conocer los resultados del recuento puntual de las personas sin hogar 2024 y el informe completo de 2024 estará disponible en longbeach.gov. Gracias.
Thank you. Gracias.
បាទសូមជម្រាបសួរបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាសាលាក្រុងឡុងប៊ិចសូមគោរពស្វាគមន៍បងប្អូនទាំងអស់ហើយថ្ងៃនេះយើងខ្ញុំទាំងអស់គ្នាមានវត្តមាននៅអគារលំនៅឋានដែលជាអគារអាជ្ញាធរលំនៅឋានដែលប៉ះចំថ្ងៃទី2នៃសប្តាហ៍ប្រពៃថ្ងៃការច្នៃប្រឌិតនិងការបង្កើតថ្មីផ្នែកលំនៅឋានហើយយើងមានវត្តមានលោកអភិបាលក្រុងឡុងប៊ិចលោក Rex Richardson ហើយក៏មានប្រធានសុខាភិបាលនិងសេវាប្រជាពលរដ្ឋហើយក៏មានអនុប្រធានគ្រប់គ្រងទីក្រុងឡុងប៊ិចរបស់យើងគឺអ្នកស្រី Teresa Chandler ផងដែរដោយបងប្អូនបានជ្រាបស្រាប់ទៅហើយកាលពីខែមករាឆ្នាំមុនយើងបានប្រកាសអាសន្នដោយដាក់បញ្ហារឿងអនាថានេះគឺជារឿងបន្ទាន់ដែលត្រូវដោះស្រាយការប្រកាសអាសន្ននេះក៏កើតចេញមានជាដើមហេតុដែលធ្វើឲ្យយើងមានការដែលត្រូវប្រឹងប្រែងយ៉ាងគំហុកហើយដែលយើងឃើញថាចំនួនប្រជាពលរដ្ឋដែលរងភាពអនាថានោះគឺកើនឡើងដោយសារតែវិបត្តិនៃការរីករាលដាលនៃជំងឺ COVID-19 ហើយដោយសារតែភាពប្រកាសអាសន្នដដែលនេះឯងដែលធ្វើឲ្យយើងមានលទ្ធភាពគ្រប់គ្រាន់នៅក្នុងការត្រៀមជើងព្រួលនិងរចនាសម្ព័ន្ធដែលចាំបាច់នានាដើម្បីដោះស្រាយវិបត្តិសម្រាប់មនុស្សលោកយើងនេះ បាទសាលាក្រុងឡុងប៊ិចក៏បានដាក់ចេញជាគោលដៅជាក់លាក់ជាច្រើនដើម្បីដោះស្រាយបញ្ហាដែលគោលដៅទាំងនេះរួមមានទី1គឺកសាងសមត្ថភាពទូទៅនៅក្នុងផ្នែកបង្ការវិបត្តិហើយផ្នែកសុខភាពផ្លូវចិត្តនិងលំនៅឋានទី2គឺបង្កើនថវិកាទ្រទ្រង់និងធនធានដើម្បីអនុវត្តគម្រោងកម្មវិធីថ្មីហើយទី3គឺបង្កើនសន្ទុះនៃការឆ្លើយតបទៅនឹងវិបត្តិជាទូទៅទី4គឺដាក់ចេញគោលដៅរយៈពេលយូរអង្វែងនិងរចនាសម្ព័ន្ធអង្គការនានាដើម្បីយើងបន្តកិច្ចការដោះស្រាយបញ្ហានេះនៅក្រោយពេលដែលចប់វិបត្តិនេះទៅក៏ដោយបើជាលទ្ធផលក្រុមសាលាក្រុងឡុងប៊ិចរបស់យើងបានសម្រេចជាផ្លែផ្កាជាច្រើនដែលមានរយៈពេលខ្លីនិងមានបានចាប់ផ្ដើមអនុវត្តគោលដៅរយៈពេលយូរអង្វែងនោះដែលមានជាដុំកំភួនខ្លះហើយដែរបាទនៅក្នុងពេលដែលយើងកំពុងតែសម្រុកដោះស្រាយបញ្ហានេះគឺជាប្រចាំខ្ញុំបានសូមជម្រាបជូនបងប្អូនដែរនៅដំណឹងថ្មីនឹងចុងក្រោយរបស់យើងតាមរយៈការផ្សាយជាបន្តផ្ទាល់ប្រចាំសប្តាហ៍របស់យើងនៅក្នុងនោះគឺការផ្សាយផ្ទាល់នីមួយៗយើងបានជជែកជាមួយនឹងមន្ត្រីដ៏ចំណានរបស់យើងហើយក៏បានជជែកជាមួយនឹងដៃគូសហគមន៍ជាទីទុកចិត្តរបស់យើងផងដែរតទៅនេះខ្ញុំសូមជម្រាបជូនបងប្អូនអំពីលទ្ធផលនៃការរាប់ចំនួនប្រជាពលរដ្ឋអនាថានៅក្នុងឆ្នាំ2024យើងបាទនៅក្នុងការរាប់នោះគឺយើងបានរកឃើញថាប្រជាពលរដ្ឋចំនួន3376នាក់កំពុងរស់នៅក្នុងស្ថានភាពអនាថាហើយចំនួននេះគឺបានថយចុះ 2.1% បើប្រៀបធៀបទៅនឹងចំនួនប្រជាពលរដ្ឋដែលយើងបានរៀបរកឃើញកាលពីឆ្នាំ2023តែអ្វីដែលគួរឲ្យកត់សម្គាល់និងសំខាន់នោះគឺយើងរកឃើញថាចំនួនជនអនាថាដែលមានអាយុក្មេងបំផុតនិងចាស់បំផុតក៏បានថយចុះយ៉ាងខ្លាំងដែរខាងក្រោមនេះគឺជាតួលេខពិស្ដារនៃការថយចុះនៃចំនួនជនអនាថាតាមអាយុ18ដល់24ឆ្នាំថយចុះ 49.7% អានិតិជនអាយុក្រោម18ឆ្នាំថយចុះ 37% អាយុ55ឆ្នាំដល់64ឆ្នាំថយចុះ 9.4% ចំណែកឯអាយុចាប់ពី65ឆ្នាំឡើងទៅគឺថយចុះបាន 3% ដែរជាងនេះទៅទៀតយើងរកឃើញថាការថយចុះ 35% ចំពោះជនអនាថាដែលជាជនជាតិអាស៊ីនិងអ្នកដែនកោះប៉ាស៊ីហ្វិកនឹងថយចុះ 20% នៅក្នុងចំណោមជនអនាថាដែលជនជាតិ Latino ឬក៏ Hispanic បាទទាំងនេះគឺជាទឹកតាំងបញ្ជាក់ឲ្យឃើញថាស្នាដៃដែលខិតខំបំពេញការងាររបស់យុវដ្ឋានសុខាភិបាលនិងយុវដ្ឋានផ្សេងៗគឺមានប្រសិទ្ធភាពកម្លាំងរួមគ្នានេះយើងក៏បានសម្រេចលទ្ធផលជាទីមោទនៈបាទបើទោះបីជាយ៉ាងនេះក្តីមិនមែនលទ្ធផលនេះគឺជាជោគជ័យត្រចះត្រចង់ដោយអ្វីដែលយើងប្រាថ្នាចង់បានដល់ឡើយនោះទេយើងក៏បានប្រឹងប្រែងច្រើនណាស់ដែរតែក៏មានបងប្អូនយើងជាង 3000 នាក់នៅកំពុងរស់នៅក្នុងស្ថានភាពអនាថានៅឡើយនេះបានន័យថាយើងនៅមានការងារច្រើនពេកណាស់ដែលត្រូវធ្វើដើម្បីដោះស្រាយបញ្ហានេះហើយនៅក្នុងរយៈពេល3ឆ្នាំកន្លងទៅនេះគឺយើងបានខិតខំយ៉ាងច្រើនដើម្បីបង្កើនសមត្ថភាពទីជម្រកស្នាក់នៅសម្រាប់បងប្អូនជនអនាថាបាទតែទោះជាយ៉ាងនេះក្តីយើងខិតខំយ៉ាងនេះក្តីក៏បងប្អូនយើងជាង 2000 នាក់ឯណោះនៅតែអត់ដំបូលជ្រកកោនឲ្យគត់មុតនៅឡើយទេសម្រាប់ចូលសម្រាននៅរាត្រីនេះបាទមួយឆ្នាំកន្លងទៅនេះយើងបានសម្រេចការងារដ៏ត្រចះត្រចង់យ៉ាងច្រើនក៏ប៉ុន្តែយើងនៅមានកិច្ចការច្រើនទៀតណាស់ដែលយើងត្រូវមូដៃអាវលាត់ជើងខោដើម្បីប្រឡូកឲ្យខ្លាំងក្លាបន្ថែមទៀតបាទនៅក្នុងពេលជាមួយគ្នានេះយើងត្រូវតែបន្តគិតគូរដោះស្រាយដល់រឿងអភិវឌ្ឍលំនៅឋាននៅទីក្រុងឡុងប៊ិចរបស់យើងដែលជាចំណុចសំខាន់ជាងគេចំណុចសំខាន់នេះឯងហើយដែលធ្វើឲ្យយើងដាក់ចេញជាគោលដៅរួចទៅហើយសម្រាប់អនុវត្តបន្តទៅទៀតខ្ញុំសូមជម្រាបជូនបងប្អូនថាផ្លូវដែលយើងត្រូវធ្វើដំណើរនេះគឺនៅវែងឆ្ងាយហើយលំបាកលំបិនទៀតផងក៏ប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំដឹងថាយើងទាំងអស់គ្នាសុទ្ធតែបានត្រៀមខ្លួនរួចរាល់ទៅហើយដើម្បីបន្តដំណើរហើយពុះពៀជំនះលើកំណាត់ផ្លូវមួយនេះយើងសូមជម្រាបអរគុណបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលបានចូលរួមសន្និសីទព័ត៌មានថ្ងៃនេះហើយយើងសូមប្រកាសដែរថាលទ្ធផលនេះអាចមាននៅទីក្រុងឡុងប៊ិចរបស់យើងសម្រាប់ឆ្នាំ2024នៃការរាប់ជនអនាថានេះបងប្អូនអាចរកព័ត៌មានពេញទាំងស្រុងនៅលើគេហទំព័រ longbeach.gov បាទសូមអរគុណបាទសូមជម្រាបលា